and welcome to another episode of Motors for the Masses. And this week we are back at AR Motorcycles in Lowestoft with three very different bikes from the same manufacturer. Back in 1911, Teresa Benelli invested her deceased husband's money in a garage so her 6 sons could work. They fixed cars and motorbikes and made spare parts for cars and motorbikes, and in 1920 they made their own engine, a 2-stroke 75cc engine, and in 1921 they produced their first motorbike. They went from 75cc to 98cc to 125, and 96 years on they're still producing epic Italian motorcycles. Okay, they have been bought out by the Chinese, but don't be put off by that because their HQ is still in Italy and they are producing some fantastic quality motorcycles. Even though their parent company is Chinese, it doesn't really matter because their quality control is still in Italy. So what have we got for you? Well, today we've got 3 very different bikes. We've got the Benelli Tornado TNT 125, we've got the Benelli BN302, the 300cc, and the Benelli TRK 502, which is the 500 adventure bike. So let's go and have a look. Benelli have also launched a branch in India, and they're producing a whole range of different bikes for India as well. And don't forget, my FB Mondial, which is an Italian bike by an Italian manufacturer, is also Chinese parent company. So they're not as bad as you think they are. So let me introduce you to today's stars of the show. The TNT, a funky looking bike, but it's got plenty of poke. The BN302, a naked street bike. And this monster, the TRK 502. Let's get going. This funky looking thing has a single cylinder, 4-stroke, 4-valve air-cooled engine and produces 11 brake horsepower, and it weighs 121 kilos. So it's not a light bike, but it's not a chunkster either. Okay, it does look like a pit bike, but that just increases the fun value with its 12-inch wheels over the traditional 17 or 18-inch that most 125s have. With a 120 front tyre and a 130 rear, it comes with a 220mm front disc run by a 3-piston caliper and a 190 back disc. It has a traditional 5-speed box and fuel injection, so it's Euro 4 compatible, and it comes with upside down forks on the front and a monoshock under here at the back. And with a 780mm seat height, it's not a short arse either. So when you sit on it, you still feel quite high. It's still 755mm wide and 1.84 meters long, so it's not a small bike at all, but it does only have a 7.2 litre fuel tank. Therefore, this 70-mile-an-hour 2-wheel go-kart still has a feisty little heart. It doesn't matter whether you go for red, the white or the black, you're still going to get a very nice looking Italian pit bike. No, not pit bike. I've got to stop calling it a pit bike. It's these small wheels. It's not a pit bike. Not a pit bike. Not a pit bike. So let's talk about design. Well, I love this exposed frame down here and the nice little Italian flag touch on the side here. Okay, these switches do feel a little bit plasticky and a little bit cheap. But when you consider the price, that's nothing to complain about. I also love this funky twin exhaust, although I'm not too sure about this thing on the back. I did take that off my Mondial because it's a bit, but I suppose on this it kind of works, because where else are you going to put the number plate? It comes with a dual dash. You've got the digital speedo and the analog rev counter, and this front end is extremely mean looking. I love this design. It's very unique and very, very Italian. I love it, absolutely love that. So let's start this little thing up and see what it sounds like and take it for a spin. Ooh, quite beefy. That's different. It feels a little odd to me with these tiny little 12-inch wheels. The turning circle, you do feel like, oh, am I going to fall, am I going to fall? But you don't. So there is that. But it just feels too dinky. It's more of a fun bike than a serious bike, I think. I've seen these on the road and people do ride them every day, but for me, probably not. However, definitely. So there we have the 125. Now let's move on to the 300. This 300cc BN302 comes with a 2-cylinder, 4-stroke, liquid-cooled, double overhead cam engine, producing 37 brake horsepower and 18.8 pounds-foot of torque, which means it's still good for around 115 miles an hour. It has a 6-speed box, upside-down forks on the front, and this strange mono-shock arrangement bolted onto the swing arm at the back here. Now, it looks very nice, but it's only on one side. It just looks a bit odd, really. It comes with twin 260mm discs on the front, each one with a double piston caliper, and a single piston caliper on the rear with a 240mm disc. With a 120 front tyre, it comes with a 160 rear, and they're running on Pirelli Angle STs as standard. Not a bad tyre. It comes with a 16-litre fuel tank and weighs in at 185 kilos. The seat height is 795mm, so it's only 15mm higher than that TNT Tornado Naked T125. But it is longer at 2.1 meters long and slightly wider at 800mm wide. It is a stunning looking bike again, and it comes in a range of colours, either white, this black, or green. And I really like the green. Benelli do a very nice metallic green, very nice indeed. I like the exposed frame, the naked stance, and this digital dash stroke analog rev counter is pretty basic, but it's what you need. Again, the controls on here, they feel okay. They feel better than they did on the 125, not as cheap. There's not much else to say about it. There's nothing singing and dancing on here. It's all quite standard and all quite basic. But it does feel very nice to sit on, although the seat is a little bit hard. What I also like is this exhaust under the bike. Very subtle, but with the chrome it does stand out, but not too much. It's just very well designed. Very happy with that. This TRK 502 comes with a 500cc, 47 brake horsepower, 2-cylinder, 4-stroke, double overhead cam engine, which produces 34 pounds-foot of torque, which means it's good for around 115 miles an hour. Well, that sounds the same as the 300, I hear you say. Well, yes, and the reason why is that this is slightly chunkier. This weighs in at 235 kilos, and that does not include these. So it is going to be a bit slower. It comes with a 6-speed gearbox, upside down forks on the front, and this single mono-shot arrangement on the rear. Like the 300, it's got a 120 Pirelli tyre on the front and a 160 Pirelli tyre on the back. But unlike the 300, this comes with twin 320mm front discs with double 4-piston calipers, and a single piston caliper on the rear with a 260mm rear disc. Now this also comes with a 20-litre fuel tank, so plenty of adventuring to be done, especially with this extremely soft seat. It can be a little bit tricky to get on, especially with these boxes on the back, but it feels very comfortable, and it's got an 800mm seat height, so you're still able to touch the ground quite easily. 915mm wide, so it is quite a massive bike, 17.5 miles long. Okay, not 17.5 miles, it is 2.2 meters long, but it has plenty of presence. And I don't mean the kinds you get for Christmas, I'm talking about being imposing in the rear view mirror. Get out of my way! I'm on a motorbike. Like the 300, I love the way this looks. It's a huge bike, nice exposed frame, and again, the exhaust under the bike like this. Very subtle, but very cool looking. These panniers don't come as standard, they are additional, and we'll talk about that and the prices of them later on. However, overall, it is lovely, and I cannot get over how comfortable and soft these seats are. Fantastic. I like this dash as well, slightly different to the 300. It's a bit neater, I think, a bit more tidy than the other one. Still has the digital speedo and the analog rev counter. So let's take this funky looking key and start it up. It's actually pretty quiet. Until you do that, of course. is a very comfortable ride. When you're sitting on the bike, it doesn't feel this big when you're riding it. It doesn't wobble around all over the place. It's very secure on the road. You can see just how easy it is to turn something this big around in the road. Not a problem at all. Fantastic to ride. So as you can see, these three boxes, you can get quite a lot of stuff in. 33 litres actually in this one, and 52 litres in this top one, and a maximum of 10 kilograms in weight. So potentially that's another 30 plus the weight of these, about another 35 kilos on top of the 235 kilos it already weighs. You take that and another passenger, luckily you've got a perhaps small wife, or if you don't, add that weight on and off you go. Now bearing in mind, when I was riding there, I had Malcolm on the back with the camera and he weighs 300 kilos perhaps, so it handles quite well I think. Okay, that's a bit unfair to Malcolm, not 300 kilos, maybe 110, but even so, quite chunky. So let's talk about some prices. Well, this Benelli Tornado TNT Naked T125 is £2,199 on the road. That is £1,100 cheaper than its rival, the Honda MSX 125, and would most likely be cheaper than the Kawasaki Z125. But unfortunately, we don't get that in this country. Don't ask me why. The BN302 comes in at £4,499, which is the same as the Yamaha MT-03, but that is slower, and this is heavier. Work that out. And it's pretty much on par with the KTM Duke 390, so it's a pretty good contender. I personally love the look of this, especially with that red frame. Very nice indeed. The Benelli Adventure TRK 502 comes in at £5,699, and for that you get this nice wraparound screen, these guards, but you do not get the boxes. The boxes are Givi boxes, but they're an extra £750 on top. You do, however, get the box frames, so you can put any boxes you like on there. You don't have to spend that much on boxes. This, however, is £100 cheaper than its rival, the Honda CB500X, and I know which I prefer. This is much nicer looking. And he has ridiculously hideous brakes. So that brings us to the end of this episode, and this just shows how versatile one manufacturer can be. Of course, there are different bikes as well. The Benelli they do sports bikes as well. And in the future, we'll be having a look at one of those. But unless you're a hardcore Harley fan, I'm pretty sure Benelli can cater for your tastes. If you're interested in any of these bikes, have a look at the link in our description at AR Motorcycles, and then book a test ride. I don't think you'll be disappointed with any of them, whatever your tastes are. They are fantastically made and very nice bikes indeed. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a look at our website, that's coming on the bottom here, www.motorsforthemmasses.co.uk. Once again, we had our giveaway, and we had the Amazon Echo Dot and the t-shirt. That's all been ordered, and that's all in the post and on its way to you, Charlie Blackwell. We'll be back very soon with more motorbikes and more cars. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please like and share this video, and thanks again for watching. Thank you for your support. Our subscribers are just going up and up and up. We're over 2,300 now, and we cannot thank you enough. So because of that, there will be another giveaway coming along soon, so keep an eye out for that. Until then, remember, drive and ride carefully, but have fun. See you later.